Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. I'm Travis and today we're going to listen to a new band, Majiko Kokoronashi. Hopefully I said that right. So just briefly looking at the comments, people are saying this is like a super depressing song. So I'm a little worried to listen to it. If you guys ever watch my Love Bites Hammer of Wrath, you can kind of see how sometimes songs that are really depressing can have an impact on me. So I'm glad I'm saving this as the last recording for today, but yeah, let's get into it and see how much of an impact it has.
ね、もしもすべて投げ捨てられたら笑って生きることが楽になるのまた胸が痛くなるからもう何も言わないでよすべて忘れられたなら泣かないで生きることも楽になるのでもそんなことできないからもう何も見せないでよ君にどれだけ近づいても僕の心臓は一つだけ僕の願いが叶うなら君と同じものが欲しいんだでも僕には存在しないからじゃあせめてここに来てよひどいよひどいよもういっそ僕の体を壊して引き裂いて好きなようにしてよ叫んでもがいてまぶたを晴らしてもまだ君は僕のこと抱きしめて離さないもういいよ
I feel like when I try to interpret these lyrics, I feel like it's gonna like really hit me. I mean, I can already kind of tell just based off, the music video, like any artist that can be that vulnerable, like that is really coming from like a dark place in a sense. Like you're really kind of just putting your heart out there and just really just allowing yourself to be vulnerable. And I mean, that's like a really difficult thing to do and a very commendable thing to do. There was a part where it was like, why are you being nice to me? And it really seemed like she's probably lived a life where she doesn't feel like she deserves any type of kindness and stuff of that nature. She seems very scarred and just she's used to always being treated, poorly, and she's this, somebody shows her some kindness and she kind of like almost rejects it. That's kind of, my interpretation of a little bit of the lyrics, but man, I'm kind of, depression exists. Time for an upgrade. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little scared to try to break this song down just because I feel like this is kind of like this song right here, Dexcore is Still Alive, and when it comes to Hammer of Wrath, Love Bites, those are two songs where, I feel like they have kind of took me in a dark place, and I feel like this song is probably gonna do that. I'm a little worried, I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, let's try to break this down. Say, if everything was thrown away, would living with a smile be easier? Because my chest is hurting again. Don't say anything more. I'm wondering by if everything was thrown away, if she is referring to her relationships, those close to her, just the life as she knows it. Say, if everything was forgotten, would living without crying also be easier? Man, if she forgot everything that she's going through, it seems like she really has a lot of scars and a lot of, sadness and a lot of pain that she's going through. So if she just forgot all of that, it's really hard to forget that pain that you're going through. It's really hard to forget those scars. You can't forget that stuff. If anything, I think if you just forgot all the pain that you went through, I don't think you could really ever truly do that. I think that's stuff you have to work through. You can't just forget it. At least I don't think it's really possible. I think in some form or fashion, it's going to be a part of you subconsciously. I mean, you can kind of suppress it, but that doesn't genuinely do you any favors. I think the stuff you go through you need to talk to a therapist, or you need to find a way to work through that and to overcome that. I don't think it's something you could forget. And I think by trying to forget it, you're really just kind of suppressing it. It's going to have an impact in some form or fashion in your life, unless you work through it and you move on and you try to become better through it. But I can't do things like that. So don't show me anything more. No matter how close I get to you, my heart is just one. It's awful. It's so awful. I'd rather you destroy my body, tear it to shreds, do as you please. Even if I scream, squirm, and cause my eyelids to swell, you still hold me tight. You won't let go, so it's okay. I can't do things like that. I can't forget the things that probably caused her a lot of pain and trauma. I'm kind of curious on what she means of that. My heart is just one. Maybe this is kind of, maybe I'm trying to read into it too soon, but maybe she's saying she only has so much of herself to give. When you go through a lot of stuff like this, a lot of trauma and pain and sadness as she's expressing in this song, you become really closed off, you become really guarded. So maybe when she's saying, like, my heart is just one, it's like, I've gone through so much turmoil in my life that there's very little of me to give to you. That's kind of what I'm interpreting. It's awful, it's so awful. I'd rather you destroy my body, tear it to shreds, do as you please. Even if I scream, squirm, and cause my eyelids to swell. You still hold me tight, you won't let go, so it's okay. That's kind of interesting. Is she saying that, she might be so accustomed to just going through pain and trauma and just all these bad things happening to her that she'd rather that just happen because she's used to it. That's what her brain is used to. That's the cycle that her life exists in. You still hold me tight, you won't let go, so it's okay. It's kind of like, when I think about it, it's kind of like a dog that has been abused. And what I mean by that is, like, you see a lot of instances where a dog comes from an abusive owner, and the dog just tries to be as small as possible in the corner. Any type of touch it's scared of. And it's kind of seems very similar to this. it's not used to any positive feeling or emotional or touch, that it's scared. It wants to be away. It wants to be as closed off and kind of small as possible. So it kind of feels like it's kind of like a similar feeling for me. Say, if my wish is granted, I'd want the same thing as you, but because I don't exist, well, at least come over here. Okay, so maybe she doesn't see herself as a person. Maybe she feels like she doesn't deserve anything. She's been so maybe demeaned and run down. She feels like she's not a person and she doesn't deserve anything in life. But if she had a wish and it was granted, she'd want the same thing as you. And I feel like this is obviously somebody holding her tight and not letting her go. I think this is a partner in her life, somebody that has given her a positive reinforcement. And if she had a wish, she would wish for the same thing as him, to maybe be able to feel love the same thing as him, to feel this kindness. That's kind of what I'm thinking, but because she's gone through so much trauma, she feels like she's not a person. She doesn't deserve that wish to be granted. No matter how much I'm loved by you, my heart is just one. Stop, don't be so kind. Whatever I do, I can't understand. Okay, so maybe this kind of gives it a little bit more context into the heart, just having one heart. Meaning maybe her heart is filled up with so much pain, suffering, turmoil, that it's full of just sadness. Maybe this guy or this individual is trying to love this woman. Her heart just has no more room for love. It's just filled with nothing but pain. It hurts, teach me with words. I don't know this, don't leave me alone. Ooh, it hurts, teach me with words. That really sounds dark. It sounds like she was probably abused. She wants somebody just to teach her with words and not physically. And this is dark. Say, if I had a heart, how would I find it? Smiling a little, you say, well, about that, it's right there. At least this little bit right here sounds a little bit more uplifting. It sounds like she has finally found somebody maybe in her life that has given her some positive reinforcement, the opposite that she's used to having throughout her entire life. She's always said she has one heart, and that heart is just filled with nothing but pain. But he's saying, no, you've always had your heart, it's right there. And it kind of gives way of, since this is more of a positive kind of like her life is changing, she's found somebody that has given her positivity, positive reinforcement, has shown her kindness, has shown her caring and love, something that she's probably not had her whole life. In a sense, it's kind of like, for example, growing up, you grow up in a terrible household. You know what I mean? And, you have nothing but negative pain, suffering. And then you finally get out of that house and can start your own family. You know what I mean? It's like a new life. It's like a new heart, for example. And okay, well, you have this one part of your life that one heart, it kind of represents one part of her life, and that is pain and suffering. And this new heart that she has there is kind of representing this new change in her life, this new moment in her life where she finds somebody is going to uplift her, is going to, maybe put her on a pedestal, is going to give her positive reinforcement, is going to show her love, is going to show her kindness, something she's never had before. So that new heart in her right here kind of represents a new part of her life, and one that is going to be filled with love and kindness and not what she's accustomed to. I feel like I'm genuinely not elaborating very well on what I'm saying by that, but I think you guys will probably figure out what I'm trying to say. The hearts kind of represent different parts of her life. The one heart that she knows, the only one that she feels she has, is nothing but pain and sadness, and he is showing her, no, this heart that you have is inside of yourself, and you're going to fill that with love, kindness, happiness, joy. That's the TLDR, the too long didn't read part. This is a dark song. Yeah, I mean, to be able to be that vulnerable on stage and really kind of just show your pain and suffering, man, that is not easy. I imagine the people that kind of relate to this, I can really kind of see why this song is just very depressing and just very hard to listen to, for sure. And I kind of get it. It's kind of, on just a smaller scale of things. It's kind of like with me. I feel like a huge shift in my personality was came from heartbreak, for example. After that happened, I allowed myself to change for the worst, in the sense that like love is the greatest feeling, but when you lose that, it's also the worst feeling in the world. And so my way of dealing with, that pain and suffering, in a sense, it's obviously not to this extent, but on a smaller scale, was to kind of emotionally detach myself. In a small scale, like, that pain and suffering, that's kind of what I'm used to. I'm used to, heartbreak, and I'm used to being hurt. So maybe in the future, I'll find this person that is going to help me find this heart again that I feel like I don't have because I'm very emotionally detached. But maybe this person that I find, in a sense like her, somebody that I think I can be vulnerable with again, I imagine they'll help me find this heart again. In this instance, be a new part of my, a new moment in my life. So, yeah, I kind of relate, obviously, on a much smaller scale, but for somebody that has gone through nothing but pain, sadness, and scars, dude, it's really sad. I feel like somebody that has never been shown any type of positive touch or emotions, I feel like anytime somebody does show them, it's like it's so scary because you're just not used to that. So this is a really dark song. I'm really happy that I did find this song because it really does kind of show like the darker aspects of like what people kind of go through and the places they come from and the scars that people have. It helps you kind of get a better understanding that, you have to treat people better. You have to be better. You have to maybe check on those people that you don't check on so much in your life. Ask and make sure they're okay, because ultimately you don't know the struggles and the pain they're going through. So definitely check on those people you care about, make sure they're doing okay, and be very alert. But yeah, no, I hope I did the lyrics kind of some justice. I feel like, if you guys want to elaborate on maybe experiences you guys have gone through, maybe moments that kind of correlate to your life, definitely let me know your interpretation, because I feel like I'm kind of in the ballpark, but I can't fully relate to this extent, but I can relate to a smaller scale extent. So maybe I don't have the full picture. So maybe if anybody that has watched this can kind of relate, definitely help me better understand her point of view, because I definitely want to understand. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.